Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the Deep Tech for the Next Trillion. This is the inaugural session organized by Cyber Media at a very crucial juncture of our India and Indian economy. And I thought I'll share with you my perspectives on this very critical theme for next 10 years. I believe that India is moving very well on the technology front. It is very clear in the last 2 years, despite pandemic, India's economy, India's entrepreneurs, India's government, all the key stakeholders have collaborated together to nurture and adopt future technologies. It is also very clear that geopolitically, India is gaining ground significantly. Also that technology, not only one technology, but multiple technologies are gaining ground significantly. I can say with confidence that next 10 years, the impact of technology will be bigger than impact of technology in the last 100 years. Because clearly, every part of our life, every element of our life is being now facilitated or helped and supported by new technologies. And hence the ease and convenience of living, as our Prime Minister says, is becoming better and better. And I am very happy to say that India's technology landscape is at par with the world. It is not behind. Earlier, I remember we used to be a few years behind, sometimes 5 years, sometimes 3 years, sometimes 10 years. But now it is at par. Whatever happens in the Western world happens in India at the same time. I am also very happy to share that on fintech, which is one important technology of financial transactions, etc., and payments, India is leading the world, which actually makes me very, very happy because it means that India's common man, India's masses are open and flexible to adopt new technology. And that's a very, very important thing, because if the population is not ready, then it's very difficult to push down technologies. But India, and you can see the same in vaccinations, India has done 1.33 billion vaccinations already. And I think that proves that Indian people, Indian citizens, are always open to embrace new technologies. And I think that's a great start. Now let's come to deep tech now. Deep tech is hard technology areas, not simple small technology areas, but hard technology, where technical solutions are based on substantial scientific and engineering challenges. These can be global warming. These can be fighting cancer. It can be even small, not small, but quite serious issues of traffic congestions in India's metros. So think of anything, all the problems. Deep technology is ready to solve it. And I think time has come that digital technology has built a strong foundation in the last 5 to 7 years in India. If you see all digital technologies, whether it's pertaining to eye care, whether it's pertaining to food delivery, whether it's pertaining to ride sharing, anything, already in the last 5, 7 years, India has got good penetration, not great penetration, but good start of each of these digital technologies, which I think is a great foundation for deep technology to take off now. Now, another great feature about India is that the software development has been a great theme, industrial theme, for the last 2 or maybe 2.5 decades. And great companies like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, HCL, Tech Mahindra, and many others have already become global. And now the transition is towards AI, machine learning, robots, drones, blockchain, and many, many other technologies which will really support India in going into the next decade. It is also very clear that many of these technologies are being utilized by Indian companies. Even India's defense production is moving to India's technology. From a very large importer of defense and many other manufacturing components, India will become a very large domestic manufacturer as well as exporter in the next 10 years. And government has initiated 17 PLI, production linked incentive schemes, which will help India in doing so. Now, what is important for us in the next year or two is to build and foster a deep tech ecosystem. It's very important to build that ecosystem so that India is a preferred destination for deep tech work, deep tech businesses, deep tech massification for the investors. Now, when I say massification, I mean that no other market in the world has 1.3 billion people to deploy technology. The markets are much smaller, and maybe some markets may not be smaller, but there are problems, either regulatory problems or people are not ready to embrace technology. In India, that is not so. In India, regulations are becoming friendlier, and I will like to compliment the government. They're making regulations friendlier, and it is not easy because technology regulations have to move with technology, and technology is moving very fast. So government is trying its best to keep pace with the technology evolution and have policies according to latest technology evolution. The second thing is public acceptance, which I have said is already very good in India. Therefore, massification of deep technology will be India's biggest benefit and biggest benefit of global technology companies and global investors to come and do pilots in India. And once pilots are successful, then massify them. And I remember I used to do that when I was in Airtel before SoftBank. If there was a new technology, I used to pilot it in a small market first in India. I could do it in Bhubaneswar, I could do it in Guwahati, I can do it in Trivandrum, and then massify it if it succeeds. And that's fantastic because India can offer that ability to multiple pilots leading to big transformation. Now, who are the ecosystem developers? I believe that government is already leading it. I also believe many, many academic institutions, IITs, IIITs, and many other engineering and software colleges will have to come forth and raise the focus on deep technologies. In addition to that, investors who may be focusing in the past to other markets have to be attracted to India. And I think they are already, and I can feel in the last 6 months that many technology investors are definitely looking at India or maybe preferring India for the next 5 to 10 years. And then is policymakers. And I'm very happy to share that policymakers are keeping an eye on technology advancements across the world, either directly or through companies like SoftBank or many other technology companies which are closely working with government. Closely we're working with CII, FICCI, and many, many other institutions which work with the government. And I think that is very, very good for future of deep technology. Also, I believe media, like cyber media. Media companies are also enunciating a new mission of deep tech. And I think that's very important for media to educate youth in this country that your future lies in technology, your future lies in deep technology. This is also catalyzed by our professionals and our entrepreneurs doing very well. And I'm very happy to share that majority of founders and professionals, not only in India, but coming anywhere in the world, whether it's US. I mean, recently Twitter had Indian CEO Parag Agarwal and many, many Indian CEOs who are already doing well or maybe in the pipeline for becoming future CEOs. These people are coming from small and medium towns. And that is my biggest happiness, which clearly means that children from small and medium towns are adopting technology, adopting AI, learning coding, understanding blockchain, going for machine learning, understanding robots and drones and many, many new technologies which India has to utilize. So the revolution is not an urban revolution. I think it's a revolution which is going to small and medium towns. And I'm sure in the coming 5 years, it'll go down to villages also. Because we have 6 lakh villages, and it's very important to include the villages in this deep tech transformation. Finally, I can say that this deep tech transformation, which is starting now, will take off in the next 2-3 years, and it'll take off towards social transformation of India. You know, we don't need the deep technology for problems of the upper end of India. And as my teacher, C.K. Prahlad said, fortune lies at the bottom of the pyramid. So the fortune of deep tech also lies at the bottom of the pyramid. The masses of India, billion plus of India, actually their social transformation, their development, industrial development, agriculture development, services development, the growth curve of India, and trickling down of growth down to small towns, villages of India, and finally, more and more employment of this young and hungry talent coming from small and medium towns. So I believe very strongly that next 10 years will be a huge social transformation in India, led by deep technology opportunities. Investors all over the world are looking at India, considering, evaluating many, many areas. And all brick and mortar industries in India have to digitize, have to adopt digital technology. And they will not only become leaders in India, but also become global leaders, because deep technology will help you take leadership, sustain leadership, also build partnerships of technology with leading institutions in Japan, in Korea, in US, in Europe, etc., so that Indian companies have always a global perspective. So I am at the end complimenting Cyber Media. I would like to thank my colleagues on the board. I would like to say that this is a very timely, very important seminar, so that we in India take it seriously, execute many low-hanging fruit in the next year or so, and then also take up very deeper technology, so that India can lead in R&D and enunciation of new ideas rather than just picking up ideas from the Western world. So good luck. And I'm formally inaugurating this session because I believe that it will be very, very constructive and useful to future of Indian economy and Indian technology. Thank you and all the best.